Yo, what up guys, it's your boy Fudo Yusei here with another deck profile. This time we're going into Arc V and we're going to showcase Yuri's deck.
Again, because this is the second one.
Yeah.
He got new support, so that's why we're doing
it again. For most of you guys that already know the deck, I won't really be explaining much about it, but I will be explaining a few things here and there that you guys can do. So we have, to start off the monsters, we have two Predaplant, Fire Trap, pretty good cards. Standard. We have two Predaplant, these, I have no idea how to say these names. Their names are stupid. Predaplant, two Predaplant, Squid Drozera, and then we have Predaplant, Spinodionia. What? Oh my god, these names are horrible. Then for the one-ups, we have Predaplant, Orphis Scorpio. Yeah, it's not a competitive deck. It's a character deck, so this is a card that you can go into back-to-back, so we only added one. We have a Predaplant, Camido Sundew. It's a pretty good card. Predaplant, Drosophilum Hydra. Pretty good card as well. Then we have an anime card, Predaplant, Stapila Worm. I don't know if you guys can see it there. We have a Predaplant, Cordyceps, and then another anime card, Predaplant, Cephalotosnail. Jeez, the names are horrible. Then we have a Predaplant, Cyrusiniant, Predaplant, Darlingtonia Cobra, another anime card, Predaplant, Easter Lily Lizard, Predaplant Moray Nemesis, and the new card that we're gonna get, obviously I should order it soon and we'll have it, is the Predaplant Helium for Predaplant. That's what it is. Its effect is if your opponent controls a monster with a Predator counter, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can target one Dark Dragon or Dark Plant monster in your graveyard except itself and special summon it. And you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So, and lastly we have Predaplant, Bankseog, whatever. I'm pretty sure I said most of all these names wrong. So that's all the monsters. Next we have obviously the spells. Super Polymerization. No, not for trade. Everybody's looking for that card in competitive. But yeah, Super Poly. We have Ultra Poly. We added a few cards to complete the deck, obviously. So we added Refusion, since he's a fusion dimension. Polymerization. One of the new cards, Predaprime Fusion, which is really good. Then we added some other cards to complete his deck, since he didn't have a full 40 card deck. We have a Fusion Recycling Plant, Allure of Darkness. We have an anime card, Seed Cannon, broken. Predaponics, Violet's Flash, another anime card. It's a pretty nice card. Predapruning, another new card. Predaplast. Effect is reveal any number of Predap cards in your hand, then target that number of face-up monsters your opponent controls. Place one Predator counter on it, on each one of those monsters. And if you do, any of those monsters that have levels, become level 1, or level 2 or lower. And then if your Predator Plant monster would be destroyed by battle, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Yeah. So if they're level 2 or higher, they become level 1, and then you can't really do much except for suffer. And lastly, we have a Predap Practice. Special summon one Predator Plant monster from your hand, then add one Predap card from your deck to your hand, except itself. And for the rest of its turn, after it resolves, you cannot special summon a monster from your extra deck except fusions. Doesn't matter because it's a fusion user, and that's all of the spell cards. Last, we have the trap. Next we have the traps actually. We have Predaplanet, pretty good card. We have Predator Germination, anime card. He has a lot of dumb cards. We have Ridicule World. I actually like this card. Because it's like the opposite of Smile World, so it was pretty cool. We have Predaplant Reborn, another anime card. We have Extra Shave Reborn, which I didn't even know he had until like my boy Judai hit me up and told me about it. He used it in the duel against Yugo. But yeah, Extra Shave Reborn, Dark Seed Planter, the one that he used against Yuya's father. And the last card, which is one of the new cards, Predator Planting. Send one Predator Plant monster from your deck to the graveyard. Place one Predator counter on each face-up monster on the field. And if you do, any of those monsters that have a level 2 or higher become 1 as long as it has a Predator counter. Then its effect is if you fusion summon a dark monster while this card is in your graveyard, you could banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card on the field and destroy it. So that's pretty cool. And lastly, we have the fusions. We have Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, that's his ace, obviously. And then the evolution of that ace, Greedy Venom Fusion Dragon. So pretty cool. And then we have the pretty much all of the Predator Plant fusions. We have the new Predator Plant fusion, Predator Plant Tripfilveratum. He gains a attack equal to the total original attack of all other monsters on the field with a Predator counter on itself. Then you can activate you can only use one of each effects of these cards once per turn. Its first effect is when opponent's special summons a monster or monsters from the extra deck while you control this fusion summon card. You can literally just negate that card, and if you do, destroy it. So he literally negates and destroys inherited summons. And then the second effect is if your opponent controls a monster with a Predator counter or counters, you can special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position. So that's that. And then the last fusions, we have Predator Plant Chimera Fleecia and Predator Plant Dragostapelia. Pretty cool card. You could if you want, so I'll pretty much kind of explain the deck and what it does a little bit briefly, since I'm pretty sure a lot of you already know what they do. Oh yeah, I forgot. And then we had little extra cards too. So this is another anime card, Dragon Creeping Plant. That's literally against Yuya or any dragon. We also have Ivy Bind Castle. That card is banned according to us. The card is broken. We have Fruit of Destruction, another anime card. We have Flower of Destruction, another anime card. And then we added some extra cards. We have Paradox Fusion, Flash Fusion, Fusion Recovery, and Branch. We added those cards.
And just like fusion cards.
Yeah, it's just fusion cards that you can like use. Obviously the deck is already good on its own, but like, especially with the new support, but like it just gives you some extra options pretty much.
Yeah. Why don't you like explain how the new support helps the deck now?
So with the new support, it makes it so one, this guy helps you bring back your dragon or your Predator Plant monster. So it's really good because now the deck is a lot more focused on the Predator counters, so it's a more efficient. Then that's why I took a couple of cards that didn't really matter. So it's more proficient with that. And they have a lot of annoying effects and stuff, so it's really good. That now with the new cards, now you also have extra fusions, and you don't have to always just go into your freaking Starving Venom all the time. You now have access to more fusion monsters. Also, I was going to say earlier, but if you want, it's not in here, but if you want, you are allowed to add a Clearwing Synchro Dragon, since he ended up having it after. If you want it, if you want to, it's obviously not his, but you're allowed to, because then it makes cards like Ultra Polymerization and this card usable.
Well, this is still usable without it, but it's still better.
It's like, it's better if you have that card. It's still usable, but it's better if you have that card, because like now you can also go into synchro plays, and being that this monster is the one tuner that he has, like it really like just extends your plays and anything. But for the most part, the deck now synergizes a lot better. It has a focus. Oh yeah, the spell card Predator
Practice.
Predator Practice is where is it?
Yeah, just separate the new ones and spread them out.
So we have these cards that came out.
I don't think this one was new.
It got reprinted. So.
Okay, that's whatever. Yeah.
It got reprinted. So like for the new cards, obviously,
Fusion.
and the fusion, These cards really gave the deck an upgrade. It just makes it more consistent in the whole Predator counter stuff because the deck really revolved. Like at first it started with that, but like it wasn't like very effective. Like it was like very difficult to get counters on your opponent on a more consistent basis. So now with these, obviously this is not new. This was out already, but it got printed as a card, so that's why I put it here. So like these cards allow you to be more effective, and the fact that this deck can also search out cards that have like polymerization or fusion spell card, like you can literally search this out and then fuse right off the bat. This guy makes it so that now you have a secondary boss monster besides Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, and it also synergizes with this card, which you can literally place a counter on something every single turn, so like it makes it easier to like really be effective with your counters and just annoy your opponent, because this deck just does things to monsters that have counters on it. You have a counter, I'm either going to tribute your monster, or I'm going to take it, or I'm going to fuse with it. Like, it's just annoying. I've already used this deck, and it's really annoying.
Yeah, the only other thing
you have to say?
Yeah, I have something to say. Since we worked on the script, I memorized some stuff. So Predaplant helps you place a bunch of counters. So does Predaplanting. This is really easy. You just set a Predaplant and you could place Preda counters on all monsters on the field. So that's really good. That works well with this card too. So these two cards, Predaplant and Predaplanting, help put counters on the field. Predapractice allows you to help you swarm the field with Predaplants because they're kind of slow. So this just says special summon one Predaplant monster from your hand. Then you could add a Predaplant monster from your deck to your hand, and then you can normal summon that one. So now that you have two, you can go for Starving Venom or one of your other Predaplants that requires two materials. And then Predator Fusion is cool because it's a quick play fusion card that allows you to like fuse your Predaplant monsters on the field, and it acts as a super poly too, so you could fuse with your opponent's monsters. We didn't do that in the script.
Yeah.
But it allows you to fuse with your opponent's dark monsters, you know. So that works in combination with that trap card that makes everything your opponent controls a dark. The Dark Seed Plant or whatever.
Dark Seed Planter right there.
Yeah, and Predaplant Chlamysidu or whatever that makes your opponent dark. So you can yeah, this card right here. This helps you make your opponent's monsters dark, and then you could activate this to fuse with it, or you could actually use Super Poly too. So it's really cool. And this card has a cool first effect, which gains attack equal to the total original attack of all other monsters on the field with Preda counters on them. So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
So if you activate this trap card and place Preda counters on every monster on the field, he'll go up ridiculously high.
Yeah, and also you could take a book from Yuri from the episode 2 when he destroyed all those like generation cards. So like because you could spread counters so easily now, you could use this effect without having to sacrifice it from the field. And it's just amazing because like it says you can send this card from your hand to your grave. It's a target will face a monster your opponent controls. On this turn it can attack all monsters your opponent controls with Predator counters on it once each. So imagine giving all your opponent's monsters counters, this guy on the field, then sending this, that's overkill.
And this guy freaking negates summons too, I think, right?
He negates inherit summons,
Yeah, he negates inherit summons.
Yeah, so
that's
like
pretty
synchros, like C's, links, negated.
Yeah. So yeah, the deck is really strong. It has better, it's more faster than it was before at spreading counters and fusion summoning and special summoning monsters.
It also has more targets for fusion summoning too, other than just like maybe like what, one or two monsters?
Yeah, because now we have Dragosopalia, we have Tripvertum, whatever his name is.
Yeah, we have
Chimera Flesia.
You don't have to always go into Starving Venom all the time now.
Yeah, because that was the huge weakness with Yuri's deck before, was he only had those two monsters, so we had to add Chimera Flesia, and then these two cards were added into his Duelist pack anyway, so it helped the deck have more options to go for than just Starving Venom, because then it just becomes very straightforward and kind of boring to use if it's just like, summon Starving Venom, summon Greedy Venom, and that's it. Like, you couldn't do anything else. But now it has more options. You could do better plays, stronger plays, more aggressive plays. It's more fun now.
Yeah, and then like with the other extra cards that we like, kind of gave it. I mean, like I said, it's just stuff that you could add to it. But like those are the ones that we selected because it had to do a lot with his like style of dueling or whatever with fusion and stuff. It works well too. So like that's pretty much that, guys. I hope you guys enjoy, and we will have that villain duel soon. So, Riding Duel Acceleration.
Gotcha.